Over here and just cinch that skin. Okay, so you can see that piece of fat that's really pronounced there. I cut right above it, and it's just like a little score. Okay. Then I take my thumbs and I drag it and put it right in through where I cut, and I just pop the leg bones right out, or the thigh bones right out of the carcass. So you can see the bone there. Okay, that knuckle. You see that knuckle there? That came out of the spine down in here, which is out of the back here. Okay, just pop them right out. Now I'm going to put the bird on its side. And right here on the back, there's this thing called the oyster, okay? Not in a shell, okay? It's in a spine. It's in the chicken. They call it the oyster. And it's part of the thigh, and it needs to be attached to the thigh. This is the hardest part for you guys to kind of keep intact with the bird, because everybody cuts it out, okay? So this is where practicing at home comes into play. And you can see them, they're sitting right here. Not up here, right here. This is the thigh, leg, thigh, and they're sitting right here. And they're nice and soft. Okay, so I want you to be able to identify those. So what I want to do is in order to get those out, I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut right on top of that oyster. And I can see it, okay? Then from there, I put a little score right at the top of that. There's a little bone structure and where the oyster is. Then I just drag my thumb up underneath there and I pull this oyster out. Then I just pull. And pulling, and you can see this is where the oyster used to sit, right into this little pocket. You can see I got all that meat out, yes? And this is the oyster right here, okay? From there, I hold the bird up, my knife is straight, and once I go over the socket where this bone used to be, once I get over that socket, I turn my knife pronouncedly, not straight, because if you cut straight, you're gonna cut all that meat off. So I turn it down, and I cut it off, okay? Drop it down. Repeat. Okay, leg and thigh off. From here, some chefs will tell you to pull this skin nice and firm, and you can see the difference between the skin from here to here, and you can cut right along this aisleway, yes? And you'll go right through the joint. There's no chopping at all, okay? What I like to do, which I feel is easier for you to see, is you can see this piece of fat right here, yes? If you put that knife closest to the leg, not to the thigh, you follow what I'm saying? Closest to the, see this piece of fat here? Closest to the leg, not to the thigh, not here, not down the center, closest to the leg. If you put it there, draw your knife and just follow that line straight across, draw your knife through and really gently just go right through. There's no chopping at all, it goes right through the joint, okay? Good, there's your leg. That one's been in a fight club, he's beat up. This is myoglobin in here, that really dark stuff. That means when the bird was murdered, okay, killed, he was getting in a fight and he was fighting it, and they hang him from these hooks. So that's usually a broken bone, okay, or a bruise. So it kind of releases the myoglobin into the meat. It's edible, it's just really dark, okay. It doesn't look that appetizing. So take off a little bit of the fat. I throw that into my scrap, okay. Another thing, when you have your board out here, a lot of students will start tossing chicken onto the board and where it doesn't belong. Put scrap where scrap goes, put usable where usable goes. Don't mix it up. Okay? Present your thigh. Done. Repeat. You got a little cartilage on here. Make sure you get that off. Okay, but cartilage is good for what? Good, so it's usable. Okay, and just double check. Two thighs. Okay, now we're going to go into the breast. Okay, so I pick this up with my fingers inside, okay, and I put my knife right on top of the spine. This is the spine here. I'll put it right on top of the spine and just make a little incision right here to open that up. From here, I'm going to insert the knife right down this rib cage. So this is the backbone here. Backbone is here, right, and then this is the rib cage over here, okay. This knife I'm going to insert in this manner, if you can see, in this manner, to where the knife is coming out the front of the bird here. Okay?
Hello.
Then at a slight angle, the knife is right up against that rib cage, So the knife goes in, is up against the rib cage. If you put it up against the rib cage, it puts it at this slight angle. It also puts it at a slight angle here. okay? And that's what you're looking for. Just simply by putting it up against that rib cage. Okay, and I draw the knife forward and down. I don't have my hand up front here. I have it over the top of the bird holding this up, yes? Straight down. And then I'll create a V, okay? You can see that how that's tapered off in a V. Then I flip this over, and I take off all the skin. Why? Skin is not good for what? Stock, right? It just ends up being fat. So we're going to get off as much as possible here. And I clean up this carcass. Part of your rubric of what I grade you on, it tells you carcass, okay? Cleaned and prepared for stock. From the inside here, this is the lovely part. You guys are going to love this. Is remove the kidneys and any reproductive organs. They're right down in here. You pop out those kidneys. Who's hungry? Yummy. Okay, so what the kidneys do, what are they going to do to your stock?
Turn it a different color.
And what else? Turn a different color, what else?
Impurities in it.
Impurities in it for sure. Yes, definitely good job. What else? What do kidneys do?
They
filter your urine. Okay, so what's your stock going to taste like? Urine, right? Yeah, so pee. Okay, so we want to make sure we get those out. And then cut. I like you to cut to where you show where the oysters were. I don't like you to cut that in half. So this way you could show, hey chef, my oyster's out. I have to go rooting through all your bones. Then I cut this down into smaller pieces, small pieces, so it's better for the stock. And you expose more of that bone, yes? And you get a better, clearer stock. All right, now I'm gonna flip this over. And now I wanna get all this bone structure out of here. Another way of doing this is cutting the breast off from here. The thing is can you see bone?
Nope.
No, but when you go from here, can you see bone?
Yes.
All of them. Yeah, you can see all the bones. So it's a little bit easier to learn this manner. You could do it the other way as well. It works. Okay, but you're going to see how much cleaner this comes off. Now, there's a keel bone. We call this the keel bone. It's basically all cartilage that runs right down the center. Okay, and you see this white part right here? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an incision on this side and just slightly cut into that white of the cartilage of the keel bone, and then on this side as well. The way I do that is, again, I lay my knife right on top of the rib cage. Remember how I had up against the rib cage to take the bone out, the spine? Mm-hmm. Now I got it upside down, I put it right here, and I make a little X, or a little V, sorry, right in top of that cartilage, which is right there. You can pop it out, you don't necessarily need to, but for this demo I will. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to open this up, okay? And expose that keel bone. I just run my finger and my thumb down each side. I do it several times, and then just pull that out. How much meat is on there?
0.
0. Okay, when you carve it from the top side, you're going to have meat left on there. I'd rather sell that meat to my guest than leave it on the bone and put it in my stock. Okay? So now from here, I just stand the bird up, and I follow this rib cage structure straight down. It just peels right off. Now, there is a breastbone right here and a wing bone right here, and you can see where it's at that joint, yes? So the breastbone is connected to the wing bone. Never mind. All right, you know how I told you guys don't use the tip of your knife to cut vegetables and stuff? When you're fabricating, you do want to use this tip, okay? Because you want to get in between that bone structure where that breastbone and that wing bone meet. So you just pull your chicken back, follow this bone, this is the breastbone, just follow it straight down, and using the tip, just cut right through and right through. And there's your rib cage. Again, repeat, go behind this long bone right here, this long rib bone. And it just peels right off. Then using the tip, cut that right off. These I want to break down into stock. Again, chop them up. Boom. Okay, the one last bone that's left in here is the wishbone. And you can remove that here. Some chefs like to remove very first thing. Okay. Either way, it's fine as long as it gets out, because you don't want to serve this to your guest. Okay, come on. Oops, broke it. Okay, and your wishbone comes out. Now from here, you have a boneless breast except for the wings. One of these you're going to make a supreme, the other one you're going to make an airline, okay? What does airline mean? Airline means it still has the wing on, okay? But we're only going to use the joint of it. It needs to be Frenched, okay? So you got your wing tip, they also call pinions, okay? You got your wing flat, that's the one with the 2 bones, and then you got your little drumette, it's like a little baby leg, right? So what I want you to do is go from the wing flat, where that joint is, 1/3 away from it, and 2/3 away from where the breast is, and make an incision. Okay, I like to go all the way around, holding the knife up against the bone the whole time. I never lift the knife off the bone. And that's going to do what? Relieve it of all tendons and meat, okay? Now I'm gonna reverse and break this backwards. So I'm gonna do like a compound fracture. Just pop it right out. And all the cartilage comes out. The cartilage is stuck in here. But it comes out nice and clean and easy. But it's important to make sure that you leave your wing tip and everything intact. Don't go and cut the pinion off before you do this, because it keeps everything kind of intact and it pops right off. From here, you want to remove that cartilage that's off there, because we're going to use that for. You could put it in your chicken wings, but I'd rather put it in my stock because most of my guests are going to throw that away, right? Boom, and then wings there. Wing tips, I cut in half, and I put over here. Or you don't necessarily need to cut them. I like to cut them just because it exposes more. So let me repeat that again, just to show you. You only need to do it once, because one breast is airline, the other one is supreme, which I'll do in a second. But just to give you another demo, boom, pops right off. Cartilage out. This chicken was really beat up. Boom. So now here, skin side up, I want you to flatten this all out so it's nice and even, because now what we want to do is flip this over and cut this breast in half. Okay? We're going to do that by cutting slightly to the right side and slightly to the left side of center to remove that little piece of cartilage that was connected to this chine bone. Now there's a little bit more protein in there, meat, cartilage, than there is fat. I'll sacrifice a little fat in my stock, okay, and I'll put that in there, not in my strap. Okay, now we want to take out the tenderloins, which lay right here. Those tenderloins lie right on each side of this keel bone, okay? Bless you. So then the keel, or the tenderloins, peel right out. Chicken tenders. What are you going to use those for? Kids' meals, soup, pizza. They're really nice to use in a lot of things. Okay?
Pizza?
Sure, why not? Grill it up, a little bit of garlic, dice it up, put that on your garlic chicken pizza or whatever. Yeah? What, you've never had chicken pizza? Good stuff. Alright, so then I flip this back over and you can see how I kept all that skin on this side. But this right here is really not that usable. So I'm going to peel that off. Again, there's a little bit of fat on there, but there's more meat. I won't put that in my stock. And there you have your airline chicken breast. Okay, bone in. This one is the supreme. What's the supreme? Anybody tell me what a supreme is? Excuse me. Your plain old chicken breast. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. So we're going to peel all this off. All the fat. Don't eat it. Boneless, skinless. Okay, that goes there. Wing comes off. I'm going to cut this at an angle. But that wing I definitely want to serve for my football specials. Oops. Oops, I picked up the push down there. Okay, fat up to the side. Boom, clean this up. Pick out that little piece of cartilage that's still left in there. Here, that goes to my stock. And then underneath there, there's a little bit of tissue left over, cartilage, sinew, and there's a big piece right here. If there's any kind of, if you will, gristle in a chicken breast, it's right here. Tip in, tip up and through, and cut that piece of cartilage out, or sinew, gristle, if you will, right out of the breast. What we ended up, I usually see is a big V cut out of this. I don't want that. You try to save a lot of that breast, right? But I like getting that out because that's the chewiest part of the breast. Okay, I like getting that out. Good? All right, so now we're going to repeat this. Give me another hot side sheet count, please.